Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel, GLP-1 Journey and Review. Today, I'm going to be talking with Grant, who is on the carnivore diet. I'm going to be taking the part of people on GLP-1 that are trying the carnivore. He is not on GLP-1, and as you can see, he doesn't need it. Um, I want to start off by saying that neither one of us are doctors, neither one of us are nutritionists or dietitians. This is just our opinion and what we're passionate about. So let's welcome Grant. And why don't you tell us something about yourself?
Um, my name's Grant. I live in South Miami, and I've been trying all kinds of diets and workout routines for the last 20 years. And I do know that the one that I do feel the best on is the carnivore diet. Um, there are obviously periods where I wouldn't say fall off, but a meal here, a meal there, sometimes depending on the social activity or just how I feel, how my body feels, how I look. I may have a little cheat, and I also have a 7-year-old daughter, so it's very easy to go off
Mhm.
off track.
He's
Hello.
adorable.
Thank you. Yeah, she's learning a lot too. So she's been really good too with eating a lot better
Great.
than any other 7-year-old I know. So um, both of us we're into working out. We have a gym in my house, so and outside, so we spend a lot of time outdoors
Oh,
and
that's great.
and we do our weekend morning workouts by the pool, and we do get a lot of exercise by running around and going to the beach and being as active as possible. So she can eat pretty much what she wants, but I uh, I definitely try to stick 90-95% of the time to carnivore, but there are a couple meals a month I'd say that
Is
are
your
off.
daughter doing it also?
Well, she definitely eats meat and chicken and things like that, but no, she has her pastas and her pizza, and her kids stuff, here and
Mhm.
there. But she is understanding now more and more about the ingredients, which is I think the most important thing about any diet is what's in the
Oh,
food
yeah.
you're eating, and less is more. So she knows to look at ingredients, and even like with her shampoo, she brought out her shampoo the other day and said and started trying to read the ingredients. I'm like, if you can't read it, you don't want it on you
Mhm.
or in you. So she's getting the hang of it, and she's starting to think more like I want to teach kids, this stuff, that they're eating, and so she knows, and
That's great because most kids are just so into sugar and so into fast foods and
it's
processed foods, it isn't funny.
it's bad. I mean, just at the school alone, it's sad because these kids come home every week, a birthday party, a goodie bag with candy and cookies
Um,
and junk, and it just doesn't make sense, and you could see kids behaviors
that's
change. Like we'll go to a party and she'll be the only one that won't have the candy because she doesn't want it, and you'll see these kids, they have like outbursts or they misbehave, or like they have tantrums and things like that. So I feel like their little bodies and brains don't know how to react. Either do adults too. That's
right.
why everybody feels like crap all the time, is because of
That's
the
no
food.
wonder why 70% of the people are either overweight or obese in America, including unfortunately adolescents, which it is a shame.
It is the even the school provided food is like it's horrible. So there needs to be changes with that. And where do you start? How do you do it? It's like impossible to get through the parent. And it starts with the parents. And I'll go to like PTA meetings and things like that. And
Mhm.
you walk in and there's cookies or there's a sub sandwich from some awful name place. It's just it's not real food. So
Well, I'm sure the makers of all these GLP-1s aren't too upset about that because they're going to end up making money in the long run. But that's a different subject.
yeah. I
So,
mean, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
so could you explain the carnivore diet a little bit?
Yeah, so I think the carnivore diet is basically, for me, it's mainly meat, chicken. I will eat some fish, but not really, because it's farm fresh fish is not really, I don't think, fish. I try to buy the meat and the chicken from ranches or farms, or I go to like a local farmer's market where I get my eggs and I'll eat vegetables sometimes, not a lot, but I will eat broccoli sometimes. I will sometimes have a salad, but no, the dressing is like a lemon or olive oil or things like.
Hmm.
But again, like I feel the best when I eat meat, red meat, and eggs.
And is dairy included in this diet?
Yeah, so I do drink. I have like I think it's called A4 regenerative milk.
Yeah,
So
I used to drink the A2. Is it similar?
yeah, it's the same thing. I think it's A1, A2, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. I could be mistaking the name right now, but I try to find raw milk, kefir milk. I eat honey. Um, like when it comes to seasonings, I'm really just salt, pepper, butter, real butter,
Hmm.
and olive oil is pretty much my go-to when it comes to like making eggs, or like if I'm using a flat top for steak, I'll use oil or butter. Um, but yeah, the seasonings and sauces, and people get carried away with those too. There's so much sugar in majority of them. I mean,
Hmm.
like ketchup and things like that, and barbecue sauce. It's just if I actually started making barbecue sauce for myself because it's so easy to make, and I know what's in it. It doesn't last long, which is how you could tell it's good. But
It's used a lot.
yeah, right. I mean, like I have. So that's the other thing. Like I have my days or my weeks where I do a lot of fasting too. But like today, I had four, like 4 or 5 ounce after they're cooked, like meat patties. That's it. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm not even that hungry right now. I don't think I'm going to eat again tonight. But there are days where I'll do like once a week, I'll do at least one 24-hour fast. And then maybe like once a month, I'll do like a 48-hour. And then maybe every quarter, I'll do like a 3-day. But I haven't gone longer than that. Um,
Hmm.
I've been going to the gym a lot. So I'm hungry all the time, So I try to at least like wake up, drink a lot of water, my electrolytes, creatine, go for a walk, at least
Hmm.
20 to 30 minutes minimum walk. Then I'll eat, and then I'll go to the gym or I'll work out at home. So it seems to be working. Then fasting and working out, like that works too. But I feel like I want to get stronger and more lean, so I feel like I need to eat to last longer in the gym.
Sounds good. Now, if somebody wants to start off on the carnivore diet, how do you suggest they do it? I would assume slowly.
Yeah, well, slow is good, but the problem is with slow is you could fall off, and if you do it for like a day on, day off, or 2 days on, it's like those off days that'll get you. So if you are going to go back and forth, just if you're going to go back to eating carbs, or I eat fruit too. I didn't mention that earlier, but
Hmm.
I would stick with lean carbs, like white rice and real potatoes, things like that, where you're not eating like a tortilla or anything with corn in it or anything like that, or
Uh-huh.
anything breaded. You really want to stay away from, like if you're going to cheat. Um, cheese is okay as long as it's not processed. But like if you're going to have a burger, you don't need the bun. You really don't. You just have two
Right.
burgers. You have two patties. Have three patties. Like you can. That's the best thing about the carnivore diet is I'll sometimes wake up at like midnight and I'm like, I'm starving. I'll have a burger patty and
That's,
I don't feel guilty.
that's my favorite food.
Yeah, I love burgers. That's a burger with bun and fries is great, but you can home make that stuff. Real potatoes, you put them in the oven and you bake
Hmm.
them, and they taste just as good, if not better, and they're not frozen or
Hmm.
fried in oil with who knows where the oil came from, or what else has been in the oil too. But yeah, if I say starting, if you like eggs, eat a lot of eggs. Eggs really fill me up a lot. I do a little thing when I'm eating. If I am eating carbs, I'll do eggs, rice, and cheese. I find
Yeah.
that to be
Sounds
good
pretty
and
good.
filling. Yeah. Eggs are like my go-to no matter what, any time of day, hard boiled, any way you like them. You can eat them raw, whatever. I don't eat them raw, but I think eggs is a really good way to start. Like if you could eat, you know, uh, 4 or 5 eggs, eat those in the morning, and it really does fill you up pretty well. Um, And then stick with the meats that you like, tender meats like fillets, or I like skirt steak and ribeyes and things like that. But the burgers are kind of what quenches that like craving of
Hmm.
like, you don't want to fall off. But if you have a burger meat, it just tastes different. And I make them. I also buy them from a farm too, so they come pre-done. I grill, like 10 or 15 of them a week, and then just throw them in the fridge. And
Yeah, that sounds great. Like I said, burger's my favorite food, and since I've been watching what I eat and on the GLP-1, you don't need the bun. So I could see how a diet, like that, you lose the craving for it.
you lose the craving. And you know what? I'm starting to notice now that I'm like really getting towards 100% is if I have bread or if I have a piece of pizza, like my stomach is screaming at me. So, and it's not that there's nothing really to do with the bathroom or anything like that, but my stomach's like literally talking to me, telling
Hmm.
me like don't eat this again because it's just gurgling. And I don't like
Right.
the way that feels. Of course, it tastes good in the moment, but after experimenting a few times, I'm realizing that like that is not digestible food. It's not real.
Hmm.
So you just have to mentally talk to yourself and say, "Oh, look who I look! Hey, there's another ab coming." Or
Hmm.
I don't really pay attention to the scale, but so clothes fit and how you feel, is
Yeah.
how
So
I.
what kind of changes have you noticed?
Well, I'm a lot stronger. I sleep a lot better. Um, I can go a day or two like without eating and not feel uncomfortable. I
Hmm.
do drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of electrolytes. So that's like when I'm fasting, I still will drink electrolytes or soda water, um, things like that to, I guess, curb the appetite. Like if I'm, craving something
Hmm.
bad, I'll go get like a poppy soda or a lemon soda or like soda water. I mean, not
Yeah, right.
like a
I
Coke or a
understand.
Sprite, but I don't even drink like Coke Zero or Diet Coke or none of that. I'll stick with.
We're from the Midwest, so we understand that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
so,
my grandfather, as you know, he'll drink a
uh,
2 liter of Diet Coke at dinner.
uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
that's another story too. So
So, like, have you had any problems like with this diet? Like, I know like a lot of proteins sometimes do lead to constipation and that type of thing. Have you had any type of problems at all?
no, none. I don't have any problems going. I will say like if I have if I eat out and have like a bad meal, that's
Hmm.
when I get constipated, or that's when
Okay.
it takes a little longer in the morning to go to the bathroom. But I'm pretty regular. Like I'll wake up, I'll chug my water, and I'll go to the bathroom right away. Um,
Getting back to the electrolytes, I just have one quick question. Do you have a favorite electrolyte?
I like Relight.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, if I don't have, I should have brought it with me, but it's in the kitchen. But I like Relight a lot because it's got Redmond salt in it, and it just tastes. I love the the coconut flavor.
Hmm.
And then I drink another one called Magna. They're like
Hmm.
little pre pouches. Those are really good. Those give me a lot of energy too. But yeah, those two pretty much are my go tos.
Yeah. My
Thanks.
favorite is Element. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, yeah. I've
it's
never
a
tried that one.
salt-based potassium and sodium.
Yeah.
Um, so do you miss not having fruit and vegetables regularly?
I do eat. I'll eat fruit when I have my daughter like a few like half the week, so I buy fruit
Hmm.
when she's staying with me. So I do eat fruit like over the weekend. I'll have like strawberries, berries,
Hmm.
sometimes bananas. Like we make smoothies and protein shakes and things like that with
Hmm.
real milk and honey and fruit. But then the other half of the week I don't. I won't eat fruit. Not that I have a problem with it. I just feel like I'm not craving it as much as I am like for a smoothie or something like that, unless
Fair,
it's
fair enough.
it's
Yeah.
just
I know I love my fruit, but like I went from eating all sorts of sweets to, basically fruit is my sweet, and
yeah.
that's why I think, I would miss it. Although if I would change my diet, obviously I would get used to it, I would think.
Yeah, that's why I like to stick with berries because it for me it gives me that sweet tooth effect. Um,
Hmm.
like with the strawberries and blackberries and things like that, I feel like it sits, in your mouth a little bit longer than like a banana
Right.
would, or like an ice cream,
So, so are you taking, are you expecting to do this long term or as a whole lifestyle or?
Yeah, this year I really turned it up a notch and try. Really trying to get it 100%. I really want to go like 2 or 3 months of strict carnivore. My problem again is I like white rice, and I
Hmm.
usually I usually mix that in a lot of my meals, but lately I've been trying to back off of it. But
Do you take any supplements to get, what we all think of as the, whole natural food group that you're missing or?
oh, for like I took AG1 for a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, I took another vegetable type supplement, but it gurgles my stomach sometimes. I'd rather eat real food. I'd rather eat the vegetables or
Hmm.
eat more meat, Or but I do take creatine every day. I have 10 to 15 grams of creatine every day. I feel like that helps, like with clarity too. Especially on an empty stomach. I'll drink it on an empty stomach, like in the morning. And with workouts, I notice like more vascularity and just longer lasting, like quicker. I'm sorry, quicker recovery. So
Uh, do you do or suggest people do some like regular blood work to make sure that they're not deficient in anything as long as they're changing their diet?
I would every 3 months I go get blood work done, and it's a whole panel.
Awesome.
So I'll
Hmm.
test testosterone and my estrogen levels and my
Awesome.
insulin levels and everything like that. I've been doing it every 3 months now for the last 9 months.
Hmm.
um, because I did start going on HRT, but
Hmm.
no, not nothing crazy, but enough to bring my testosterone to a normal level as a 40-year-old. And that helps again too with recovery and strength. So
All right. So, I would think that one of the keys to this lifestyle is hydration, as with most diets or any lifestyle changes. It just, I can't stress to people enough how important hydration is.
right.
Is that part of this lifestyle also?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like good water.
Hmm.
So I have a reverse osmosis machine in my house, and I drink like Hidden Valley water, like only out of glass bottles. I'm very strict about it. Like I'll go out to dinner, I won't have water. I won't drink the water unless it's
Hmm.
bottled because that too upsets my stomach now. So I feel like the carnivore diet really has affected my gut health in a good way because I can, especially if I don't eat and I drink or eat something, I'll know immediately if it's not right. I'll know right away if how I feel that is not good for you and I'm not going to drink it anymore. So yeah, like I don't drink tap water, um,
Hmm.
nothing like that at all anymore. So I feel like
So,
you got to get as much water as you can
mhm,
drink a day. Drink it. You
yeah.
know.
What does your typical day of food look like?
Well, like today, I told you today I only had 4 burger patties. I'm feeling kind of good. I'm gonna go for a walk. I don't think I'm gonna have dinner, so that I could do that a couple days a week. Fast one day a week, but then there's days where I'll eat like I'll have like a 10-ounce steak. I'll have a couple thighs of chicken, um, and then maybe a couple burger patties and eggs. So I really try to hit 160 to 200 grams of protein every day without drinking like protein powder or
Hmm.
supplementing protein at all, like eating real food. Sometimes it's harder than other days, but depending on how you feel is how much you want to eat because if you're working out and doing all these supplements and eating, you're going to gain weight in good ways, but some people don't like that. Like you're not going to get super slim if you're loading up on these protein gains, basically is what it is.
Hmm.
So you have to just experiment. But when you're experimenting, I would say just try just not to cheat the first couple months. Like it's really hard, but if you get through like I think it's about 3 weeks. If you get through 3 weeks of consistency and being strict, you're not going to have the cravings anymore. Your body's going to flush out, what you think you're supposed to eat, so
Right.
what you
Do you suggest this diet for adolescents and children, or?
kids, yeah, I do. I mean, look, like it's hard. Kids' diets are hard, and especially if like my daughter is in a two household situation, so she eats different foods with both of us.
Hmm.
But kids need energy too, and I think good carbs like potatoes and vegetables and rice are good for them, and they can eat whatever they want. They have different metabolisms than we do, and they got to grow, and they got to mature their brains, right? So
Right.
as much quality that they could eat, I would let them eat. There are days though where my daughter won't want breakfast or won't eat till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't push her. If she doesn't want it and she feels
Hmm.
okay, that's fine. But then she'll have like I'll make like a protein pasta with like meat sauce, and I'll put like ground beef and stuff in there and everything, and she'll eat like a big bowl, like a family size. She'll eat like
Hmm.
maybe 4 or 5 cups. I guess would be the measurement. Like I don't think I've ever seen a 7-year-old eat, that much. So I feel like she's for her, I let her eat. She does eat whatever she wants, pretty much, but in a good way. So
That's great. That's great. Um, so I guess this is pretty sustainable, this
yeah,
way of eating.
as long as your blood work
Uh,
is back, you gotta watch your blood work and make sure that your LDL cholesterol is at a good level, and like your body can maintain it. But I feel like it works. Your skin, I mean, everything is just changes. So
so you mentioned, eggs and burgers and steak and stuff. What is your absolute favorite protein?
I like skirt steak. That's my favorite.
I grew up on skirt
I
steaks.
know. I
I
grew up
think your
on it.
mom did also.
Yeah, we all did, right? I just remember grilling that every week. We'd have skirt steak, and now I'm eating it almost every day. So that's probably my go-to when it comes to protein is skirt steak, then eggs, and then other pieces of meat too. But
In
the
full disclosure, Grant is my first cousin's son, which I guess makes him my second cousin, if I
right,
have that right.
uh,
So we are related. That's why I do mention his mom.
yeah.
So, um, how many meals do you usually eat a day? When you're not fasting.
Um, It depends. Again, like it's about how I feel or my workout schedule. Like Mondays, I usually take the day off totally. Like
Hmm.
maybe go for a while. I totally take off the entire day, try to catch up on work and lounge around and organize and do things that keep me busy. And then usually it's the day where I'll have to meal prep. Like I usually meal prep on Sundays or Tuesdays, so that way there's no food,
Hmm.
in the house. But it just depends on my workout schedule. But as long as I get those grams of protein in, I you I could eat all day. But however, I do keep a window. So like if I usually try to eat within about an 8-hour window every day.
Hmm.
So if I start eating at or less, because if I start eating at like 12 or 1 o'clock, I won't eat past like 5 or 6 unless I'm going out or doing something social. I really try to keep
Hmm.
a tight window, and I'll eat throughout that entire window. Or I'll just have like one big meal or two big meals, and then that's it.
So what drew you to this carnivore lifestyle?
Well, I never really thought like, hey, I could eat steak like 3 times a day. Like, is that okay for your heart? Is that okay? Like, you're always taught, you
Hmm.
know, eat meat once a week. I think growing up, it was like, did you eat meat this week? It's like now, did you have it today? So, um, so yeah, I think it's definitely. I think you said is it sustainable? Is that what you said?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I think it is.
Sustainable.
It does get a little expensive. You have to find a good quality. Like I order my meat online and it comes like once a month to my house.
Hmm.
So that keeps the cost down. But I do go, to the butcher, or if I find a new store, I will pick up some other cuts of meat and things like that. Or when I go out, you're eating steak. You're eating steak at home for $15 a pound if it's good meat, and then when you're out, it could be
Right.
God knows what. So you have to really, if you have to budget, you really have to watch that part. But it's not. There are other alternatives like ground beef, and I know eggs are expensive, but they're coming down. And I go to a
They're
farmer's
coming
market
down.
where you can buy 36 eggs, and I buy them for like $14, and they're
Yeah,
right
eggs are
there off the
still a
farm.
bargain, for
Yeah,
what you get. They're still a bargain.
you can't beat that,
hmm
right? So to me, I feel like you're gonna go spend money on $12 on a pint of ice cream or $15 on it's like just buy another piece of steak. So
Right. So, are there any carnivore type of restaurants, or do you just like have to order special from restaurants?
I mean, everywhere you go, you can always get a burger. You can usually get some sort of piece of steak or chicken. I really don't have a problem going out. Everybody else seems to have a problem, with like, oh, you're not going to have these mashed potatoes. I'm like, no, I'm not going to have those, but you're not going to have these fries or no bun. It's like you're going to a burger place. Like, I don't care. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah,
And
really. Hey,
it works.
uh, that kind of brings me to my next question of how do your friends react to you eating this way? Do they have any reaction at all?
It's funny. Like I have my gym friends, and then I have other
hmm
some of my best friends. Like they'll eat anything and everything. They don't care. They don't pay
hmm
attention, and they look like it too. And I hate to say it if they see this, but I'll tell them too. Like they're always wondering like, oh, my hip hurts, or I can't work out, or my back hurts, or this. It's like, well, look what you're eating. Like I feel pretty good all the time, knock on wood, like I don't wake up sore. I'm not, my feet aren't cracking, and my back doesn't hurt, and I can go to the gym and I could walk for 3 hours. I could rock. Like there's things that I could do that, friends my age are not doing. So,
Okay, so if you could change one conception about this diet that both, public and media have, what would that be?
well, I don't think from some of the studies that I've read on and some of the influencers I follow, and looking at what they've researched, that
hmm
carnivore diet doesn't cause heart disease. It's sugar, and fake food, processed food. That's how people are dying, getting cancer, and getting sick is from everything they're consuming. And alcohol
hmm
and things like that are meant to poison you. And if you can just mentally get yourself through the hard part, which is like the first month, it's off to the races. And again, if you can cheat, the other thing is like if I do have a cheat, or if I do, I don't even want to have a lot of it. Like my daughter had there's an ice cream place down the street, and it's real ice cream. Like they make it and put it in the pint, so I
hmm
can see what's in there. I she bought one pint because I'm like, I'm not gonna have a whole pint. There's no way. I just took one when she was done,
hmm
because she has to have it first. When she was done, I took one spoonful, and I'm like, man, I used to be able to I could eat this whole thing, but I'm like, I tasted it, put it back, like I don't want it anymore. So you get over those heavy, like overeating.
So, what was your biggest surprise since you started this?
Definitely cognitive. Like my mental. I have no cloudiness or anything anymore.
hmm
I have a ton of energy, like a lot of energy. And now I'm starting to work out a little later in the day, which I got to change back to working out earlier because it's keeping me up later, and I like to sleep. I like to go to bed early and get up early. So
hmm
that's pretty much. I haven't seen any bad things about it at all. Um,
Oh, that's great. That's
um,
great. So, what would your best advice be to somebody who wants to start this?
if I were to start it again, knowing what I know now, I would plan for a month. Clean out all the crap
hmm
in your house, all the snacks and the granola bars and cereals and whatever you're craving or your kids are eating. Get rid of it. Even for the kids, like I only shop unless obviously the food gets delivered, but like from the ranch, for meat and stuff. But
hmm
I only shop once a week for like a 3-day period because I don't want to have snacks in my house. And if I do, I'll get like a quality protein bar like Prima. They're really good. It's like made with tallow
hmm
and real meat. and they taste unbelievable. So you can eat 10 of those, and it's not like other protein bars where you'll eat them and your stomach hurts or you're constipated. But I would say if you're gonna start out fresh and do it the right way, plan for 1 month. Like
Mm-hmm.
get all your meats and prep your food once a week, grill, like get ready to separate it. So you can just throw it in the microwave, even though I don't like microwaves, or throw it in a pan or whatever you have to do to heat it up or eat it cold. But prepare. Even if you work, bring your lunch, don't eat out, things like that. Just plan for a 1 month just to try it. Like what's the worst that can happen? Like you go crazy one night, you cheat and have pizza, like okay, big deal. Just
Mm-hmm.
get back on it tomorrow morning. Just that's the other thing.
Right.
You're gonna cheat last night. Just wake up and go back to eating the eggs and the steak.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait.
Oh, well, I want to thank you, Grant. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully, my viewers have learned something because some of them have expressed some desire to start on a carnivore diet, and hopefully, this gave them a little bit of information on how to do it and how to start it and maintain it.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you could leave my Instagram handle in the video, if anybody can reach out or ask questions, I'm more than
Just
happy. So,
uh, text it to me, and I'll be
okay.
more than happy to.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, Lori. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Grant. It's been a pleasure, and we'll get in touch soon. Okay.
Yes, definitely. We got to see you soon.
Absolutely.